Hello ladies and gentlemen. Right, we've had some fairly heavy stuff on the channel over the last week, so I thought it was about time that we lightened things up a little bit. Now, first of all, I would like to say to anyone without a sense of humour, I would imagine the current period of time coming up to the general and local elections, that would include possibly most political parties or members thereof. So my recommendation is, if you are indeed a member of a political party in any way, shape or form, I would advise you to stop watching this video immediately, because you probably won't understand it, or you probably haven't got a sense of humour, so just don't waste your time watching it. Right, so for people who do have a sense of humour, particularly I've got certain people in mind who subscribe to me. Over the last few days I have been conducting a not very scientific experiment. Now, I go over to my local shopping centre and I've seen complaints on a certain Facebook site about people stood in there, like hogging the doorway, kind of. They're in your face before you get into the shopping centre, you know what I mean? Then once you're in the shopping centre, there's still other people, hounding you and badgering you for stuff. We had, on this Facebook page, we had a pile of comments about some people from Vanquish, I think it was. I think it's like a type of credit card, and I had the misfortune to bump into them once, and I don't know what it is with these people, but certain people of this ilk who do this stuff, they just come across to me as being hyperactive, like they're all over the place, they're jumping up and down and dancing about and in your face, and I'm thinking to myself, whatever they're on, if indeed they are on anything at all, right, where do you get it? Because, I'm getting a bit lethargic now. So perhaps I could have a word with one of these people and ask them what it is they take to get that hyper. But anyway, back to my not so very scientific experiment, right? So what I've been doing over the past few days is I got it into my head, right? How can you kind of stop these people in the tracks? Okay, and what I decided to come up with was, whoever it is and whatever it is they're offering, I've decided to tell them that I've got one. Right, now I was approached by somebody from the Red Cross the other day trying to shove a leaflet thing in my hand, and I said I've got one, and they said, well, we are the Red Cross. And I said, I know, but I've got a Red Cross. It's on my mantelpiece, right? And she looked at me like sideways, as if like, who's this idiot, right? And, well, fair enough, I admit it, I am an idiot. But, so that was that one, right? I've got one. Next was a chap from Sky. And he said something about, Sky TV, so I said, I've got it. Or I've got one, or something like that, right? Whatever they're trying to push on you, you've got it, is what I'm trying to get across, right? And he said to me, well, which package are you on? I said, well, the most expensive one, because then they can't upsell you, you see. And he said, well, which one's that? How much do you pay a month? And I said, oh, I don't know. I said, my husband deals with all financial matters, right? And honestly, I wish I'd had my camera rolling. I mean, I know you're not supposed to film in shopping centres and stuff, but the look on his face, right, my husband deals with all financial matters, right? It's just like stopped him dead in his tracks, and I just walked off, you know, with a big grin on my face, right? Left him there wondering, right, what the hell's going on here, you know? If anybody else, particularly, you see, I wish I had Matt's equipment. By that I mean his video recording equipment. You know, don't read this too much into this the wrong way, ladies and gentlemen, right? I mean his video recording equipment, his recording always in progress, carry on, right? Because, you know, maybe Matt, if you want to, you know, do something with this idea of mine, it could turn out to be quite an entertaining video, you know. So that's what I'm going to do from now on, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter who I meant to say, it doesn't matter who approaches me, the answer is I've got one. And it works, I've found, in my not so scientific experiment, 97% of the time. Okay, there will be instances where it won't work, but you know, you can, you know, I'm not interested or something like that, right? And 97% of the time in my not so scientific survey, for want of a better term, this works. Remember the phrase, ladies and gentlemen, when you're bothered by chuggers and all these other people who, you know, after extorting money out of you for one reason or another. Well, not extort, but you know what I mean. The answer should always be, I have got one. Okay? Right, so if anybody from political parties is still watching, I told you wouldn't find it funny, because, you know, you're just not into my sense of humour, I guess. But, you know, maybe you haven't got a sense of humour at all, but anyway, I don't know. So, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the official advice from non-road user. Anybody approaches you, I've got one. Simple as that, okay? Right, thanks for watching, catch you all later. Bye.